Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Pitcock, and every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central, I am here. No Guts, No Story. And today is going to be a great day. I don't know how many of you are excited about the month of May, but I am excited about the month of May. April was amazing. Drop in the comments if you're ready to get back to your normal routine. I know a lot of people are waiting. They haven't been able to get back to work. And I know some people are terrified and they don't want to go back to work. And I respect every single one of you and your opinions. I am looking to see your comments. As you come on the line, give me I am watching this live. If you are watching the replay, say I'm watching the replay. Good morning, Stephanie. So today, I want to talk to you about what you're going to do in the month of May. And let's call it Money May. Everybody drop me some hearts or some high fives or something if you're ready to make some money, because holy cow, people have been through a lot, haven't they? And over the last 45 days, we've seen a lot of changes. Last night I went to pick up Mexican from our favorite little restaurant, and I was greeted at the door and they handed me the food, and I said, so when are you guys going to get back to work? I don't know how many of you know, we own a bunch of retail stores. And so a couple in Arizona, one in Oklahoma, my kids have their own stores. And we have several here in Kansas in malls. And since my birthday, what a treat, March 16th, March 13th was my birthday. By March 16th, everything was shutting down. So I feel your pain. Don't think that I'm immune to the pain of having no money coming in from a traditional business. My sister owns a salon here, and they were so excited to open up on Monday. And then our governor said, nope, we're going to wait 3 more weeks. Now, half the people are glad because they're scared they're going to die, and the other half are mad because they're cutting their own hair at home and they need a haircut so bad. There's so much emotion, you guys. There's so much emotion. And do you know what? If we all got in a room and we debated this whole thing, nobody would win the debate, because whatever you think, you're right. It's your own beliefs. So we're not going to debate here today. Here's what I do know. Regardless of all the uncontrollables, and there's a bunch of uncontrollables, isn't there? What are some of the things right now that you wish that you could control and you can't control them? Drop them in the comments. There are a bunch of uncontrollables. Some of these girls that I know, my sisters, are at home with all their children. They're not homeschool teachers. Maybe they're wishing that their kids could go back to school because they're entrepreneurs. One of my sisters is a realtor. You know, they own a lot of businesses. It's funny. All my siblings, 5 of us, everyone has had crazy success. Not one of them has a college education. So figure that out. But we learned a lot from my mom. And one thing that we learned from my mom is how to make money. Now, if you're interested in making money, drop in the comments, I'm interested in making money. And the one thing that I've seen with her, my hair keeps sticking in my lip gloss. One thing that I've seen with her, she would burn copper wire after she got off work at the fifth wheel plant. She did lose everything, I will tell you. If you're not failing, you're not learning. And if you haven't ever failed, then you're definitely not using your full potential. Because even Walt Disney went bankrupt 7 times and he never saw the park be open. Did you guys know that story? And when people say, oh my goodness, Walt Disney never saw his park be open, his family says, oh, he saw it way better than you're ever going to see it, because it was all in his mind. He created this dream that came true. And it's impacted so many people's lives, right? But do you know how much adversity this man had? I want you to just imagine. Did you know Kentucky Fried Chicken never saw Kentucky Fried Chicken, but his recipes sold and made billions of dollars? There's so many stories of people like that. And in business, I've watched my mom have lots of businesses, and I've seen her fail, and then I've seen her come back and be even bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's good to have someone as your mentor that's been through this before, to help you mentally wrap your head around the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, and what's in it for you. Now, I'm reading a great book right now. I know a lot of you have seen me read it every year for probably since 2006. It was one of the first books that we ever put in our training system in a company that we owned in 2006. The first book that we ever put in there, highly controversial. I wasn't even thinking about it. But the very first book, even our employees, I was like, I don't want to be working with someone or hire someone that, doesn't have a really strong faith and belief, because we've got to get this thing from here to there. And I really think your spiritual leverage, your infinite leverage, comes from your faith and your belief. Well, that was the first book that we recommended. I still have it back here on my bookshelf. It's called Your Best Life Now. Drop in the comments who wants to have their best life right now. Obviously, it's a $10 book. Buy it off Amazon. Read it. It'll change your life. I don't care if you agree with the author or not. I don't care what religion you are. When we go to the buffet, I get cottage cheese and beets. Dave gags. He hates cottage cheese. He hates beets. He wouldn't dare swallow a piece of fried okra. That's what I grew up on. That's what I love. I love fried okra, right? Now, here's the flip side of that. I'm definitely not going to the pizza bar. I don't want to go get pizza if I'm at a buffet, or nachos, but a lot of people want to go to that. And I'm over here like, why did you pay for a buffet if you're going to get pizza and nachos? We could have got that at the Quick Trip. But everyone has a different taste, right? So what we have to realize is we're not always right. And our opinion is just our opinion. It's not 100% in concrete the right thing for everybody to do. But the one book that I know everyone will relate to, everyone needs it, everyone wants it, everyone has talents, everyone has ideas, and few people really step into their greatness. It is a book called The 1 Minute Millionaire. Now, even if you don't want to make money and you just love a great story, you should go read this book, because it will stir you up to the point that if you don't have big dreams and goals, you'll figure out like something that you love even more than yourself, that like you would do it like your life depended on it. So one time I heard a story. Actually, I've done this at a lot of events. So let's just pretend for a minute, you say you don't need money. Money's not your motivator. Okay, then money might not be what excites you. And I'm going to talk about making money in the month of May, but let's talk about what does excite you. I don't know if this is too bright. I don't know whether to close my window. I can't really see, but I have my glasses on because I was going to read you guys something. I guess I could take them off. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm doing StreamYard and it's on every channel we've got. So I'm trying to reach the world right now, right? Let me know if this is good connection, if you can hear it, if you get something good out of it. If you do get something good out of it, hit the share button. That would be amazing if you would just share this with one person that's stuck on the news, watching all the negative news, thinking it's gloom and doom. The whole country's going to be ruined. Their future's going to be ruined. Nothing's good in life. And then all of a sudden, someone just breathes a little bit of life into them, right? Here's the thing. I know that there's something in you that you're not really using. You're not using all your potential. You're not using all your talent. And this is what I would say to you. Let's say we're in New York City. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. There's the Sears Tower. It's pretty darn high, the Empire State Building. Let's say there's a tightrope. It's going from the Empire State Building to the Sears Tower. And the guy says, if you walk that tightrope, I'll give you $1 million. Now, this is a pop quiz. I need your interaction. Drop in the comments. Tina, you're killing me over here with the glasses comment. Drop in the comments. Would you walk the tightrope? You could always grab the rope if you start to fall. But would you go from the Empire State Building to the Sears Tower with a rope between for $1 million? Who's going? Who's crossing? Who would cross that rope for $1 million? Not me. Not even in a million years. I don't like heights and I don't like the ocean. That's the two things that really terrify me. I don't want to jump in the water if it's the ocean. And I definitely am not walking a tightrope. I don't like heights. So let's say the guy on the other side has $1 million in his hand and you're saying, no way, no way. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie, for commenting. No way, not doing it. Now, I want you to think of the person that you love the absolute most in the entire world. Maybe it's your dog. Maybe you're not married. Maybe you love your dog. Guarantee you, if my daughter was in this situation and her pug, Fergie, that she's had for 14 years was on the other side. The thing that you love the most, the person you love the most, whatever it is, maybe it's a book you've spent your whole life writing and they're dangling it and they're going to drop it and destroy it. What is the most important thing to you? Let's say it's your daughter, your son. Let's say it's your husband. Let's say it's your newborn baby, your little girl, your little boy. Let's say it's your grandkids. I'm starting to think people love their grandkids as much or more than their own children. It's crazy when you have grandkids. It's a different kind of love. Like, it is a different kind of love that you don't even use any logic, right? Just anything for them. Your granddaughter is over there. Someone's on the opposite side. They're dangling this thing that you love the most off of the Empire State Building. Forget the $1 million. If you cross, you get your loved one. If you don't cross, you don't. Who would cross? Who would cross? Let me ask you this. I messed up the story. The winds start blowing. The rain is crashing. It's hurricane conditions. I'm still crossing the road. I'm still crossing. Doesn't matter. Forget about $1 million. You're not going to take that person from me. And see, the thing about us, all of us have things that drive us more than others. I don't think money's a motivator to me. I think it's the challenge. I honestly think it's the challenge, because I'll give away so much. You know, when my son was here, we were talking one day and he said, "Mom, you just would give away just $100 bills." I mean, it was Easter. What was I supposed to do? I was thinking of all the people that didn't have jobs and weren't able to open their stores. And I mean, it's fun. If you can give away money, why wouldn't you give away money? You'll get more satisfaction giving it away than hoarding it all up. Same way with Christmas. Who would rather give away a present than get a present? There is a satisfaction in it when you know that you're making a difference. So let's talk about our emotions about money right now. This is what people are doing right now. Nope, we're not going to spend that. Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, nope, nope. It's a scarcity mentality, right? The money's going to end, so we better hoard it all up. And that's good. I mean, that's good. You want to be conservative. My grandpa always said, if you don't be a tightwad, you're never going to have a wad. So the weird thing is, I won't buy a brand new car. We live in a pretty modest, I mean, it's a beautiful home on 22 acres, but way below our means with things that we've done. Like, literally, I don't know why I've never built a mansion. I lived in one once. We bought one in Hayes, about 30 minutes from us. Backed out of that before it was even 2 years. I was like, take me back to the farm. I mean, what is it that drives you? Because this is the thing. And this is why I love the book I'm reading. When you have to do it, you're going to do it. When you don't have to do it, you're not going to do it. So just saying, I want to make a lot of money is not enough emotion to get you to move. Because sometimes it's hard work. Yesterday morning, I did something that I don't like to do all day long, but it's the most important thing to me. Figure this out. I hate being in an office. I don't like being behind a computer. I go 100 miles an hour all day long, every day, all day until I drop. I can drive to Tulsa for 5 hours and talk on the phone and build my business the whole way. I can get in my car and drive. I don't mind driving 1,000 miles in a day. But sit me in a room, oh my gosh, especially like an office setting with a whole bunch of other people, or noise, any kind of noise, like a TV or a radio, I can't even keep a train of thought. So you've got to think to yourself, what are things that you don't like to do, but you will do them if it gets you from point A to point B? Because sometimes you have to do things that you don't like to do. To me, I love building people. I love recognizing people. I think it's more important than a paycheck. I love making people feel good. Gifts, cards, letters, recognition, surprises, trips, packages they get in the mail, whatever it is. So yesterday, we had ended the biggest month ever. Like, it's crazy because in a pandemic where everything is shut down, there are businesses that are exploding, believe it or not. And I was listening to Eric Worre yesterday. It's kind of his State of the Union address about the industry. Do you know that companies all over the world in direct sales and home-based business had their biggest months they've ever had since they've ever been open. Some of them 10, 20 years. It's crazy because when we look at things and the current situation, one person sees the glass half empty and the other person sees the glass overflowing, and it's just perception. And just because you don't want to go do it doesn't mean it's not a good idea. Just because you don't want to go somewhere and not wear a mask doesn't mean that the person that wants to wear a mask is a bad person, right? Yesterday, when I went to pick up the Gutierrez restaurant Mexican food, which is delicious, by the way, if you ever passed through Hays, Kansas, it's authentic Mexico. People through generations have built this restaurant. It's amazing. So I was picking it up and she goes, yeah, we have a staff meeting on Monday. We have to decide. We had to take out half of our tables, only half the capacity now, which means half the money, right? We put some tables outside. I said, I'm just excited that you guys survived and that you're still going to be open. She goes, yeah, we're going to have a staff meeting on Monday, but things are going to be different. Have to decide if our waitresses are willing to wear a mask or not. You guys, the world is different right now, and it's never going to be like it used to be for a really long time. But that's uncontrollable, right? The lady behind me was complaining, and I'm saying to the girl, I wish I could give you a hug right now. Your restaurant's amazing. I'm glad you're open. We've supported you. Curbside. Can't wait to see you next Tuesday. I mean, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'll be here. And we were talking, we have stores in that town. Will people go to the mall? Will they still shop? Will people want to go, or will they just order everything online? You guys, people are getting used to working from home, and they love, some of them love being at home. There's no commute. They don't have to be in traffic. They're able to cook their own meals at home. Maybe they're eating healthier. They don't have to spend money on gas. They don't have to buy fancy suits to go to work. I mean, there are a lot of people that are finding so much good right now while everyone else is finding so much bad. We're in an oil community. There's a lot of negative. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of negative. Will the people that shop in our stores even have the money they used to have? Because a lot of the money around here comes from oil. But here's the question. What can I do? What can I do right now? And this is why I'm reading the book. Because sometimes you got to reinvent yourself. My friend Cynthia Sly did an amazing call last week. If you want me to send it to you, just inbox me. She owns a busy salon in the DMV. She is in one of the wealthiest communities in the DC, Baltimore, Maryland area. Maryland area. That's a mouthful. She reinvented herself. But she reinvented herself, got to 30K in 45 days because her perception was, it's not time to sit around. It's time to make a move, make a change, do something different. So you got to think to yourself, how are some ways that you can make money? And you don't have to make money the way I make money. Every single one of you has a different way to do it. But in the book that I keep promoting, the lady's going to lose her children if she doesn't come up with $1 million idea and her rich in-laws take her kids away from her. She's never going to see them again. Can you even imagine? So she hates rich people. Her husband passes away. She loses her house. She's sleeping on a couch. And the reason I love the story, I'm not going to tell you how it ends. It's do or die time. She has to reinvent herself. And she gets a mentor. Now, drop in the comments, how many of you have a great mentor? What's the favorite book? You know, my one sister would say, oh, you know, we got out of debt because we followed this program, the Dave Ramsey program. We love the Dave Ramsey program. It's changed our life. Thank God we have savings because of Dave Ramsey. And the next person will say, oh, no, I'm over here doing trading online. I love trading online. No way am I hoarding all my money. I'm putting it all over here and taking a risk with it. And the next person will say, I'm going to take all of it. I don't have any in savings or investments. I'm going to put it into a business that I know I can grow the business, because then I can 10 times my money instead of 10% my money. And everyone's different. Everyone's different. But here's the one thing that we all have. We all have time right now. We all have talents right now. And we all have some money. So time, talent, and treasures. I know I use this line a lot, but what is your talent? What are you good at? Maybe you're good at cooking. Maybe you're good at sewing. I noticed my friend Lynn, she's blowing up her I make blankets at home out of your kids' t-shirts. And she's on Facebook. Send me your t-shirts. I'll make a blanket. It's a keepsake blanket. My oldest daughter walks around out here with her dad, finds all these deer sheds. She has an antler art business on Etsy. She's got so many orders right now, she has to create them. Like she has things on Etsy that she has to make this week to ship. She loves it. Making money doing something she likes with a talent and having fun. Now, for me, there's a couple of ways that I love to make money. I love trade shows. I love people. I love being in the midst of people. I know that people don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. And I have figured out how you get people to know you, to like you, to trust you, and then they'll buy anything you're selling. Some people haven't figured that out yet. Guess what they figured out? How to offend everyone on Facebook, piss everyone off with their opinions, have to be right so they'll never be rich. And by God, it's the only thing they talk about is their opinion on a certain situation. And it's okay because they don't know what they don't know. But if that's you, change your philosophy, right? Change your philosophy, because you can be a money magnet or you can be the backside of a magnet that literally you try to put two of the same ends together. Dave does this in his Thinking Cure seminars. We have two big magnets and you try to put them together. With all your might, you cannot push together two of the same magnets. It will push apart. That's you. That's you when it comes to money. And in the book, this girl is so broken and so angry and so resentful, and she's playing the victim game. I'm the victim of rich people that took my kids, and a widow because my husband was killed by a drunk driver. And she keeps saying all these things. And she has to make money to get her kids back and get an attorney. Well, the reason why the book's so good, she makes a deal. I'm going to make $1 million in 90 days and you're going to give me my kids back. And after she spouts out, she's like, that's impossible. I'm never going to get them. I just lost them forever. And her mentor with a mastermind group set out to do it. And her mentor is incredibly wealthy and successful, like would remind you of like Oprah Winfrey in the book if you're reading it, because she's that kind of a lady. And she teaches her everything she needs to know. Now, I'm not going to tell you how the book ends, but everyone that went and bought the book said, oh my gosh, I can't get anything done. I'm reading the book. So if you do nothing more from this broadcast than go read a great book, go get the book and read it. You're going to be better than you were before you read it. It talks about all the ways that you leverage other people's money. Maybe someone gives you a grant or someone offers you to be a partner in a business and you get started. And next thing you know, it's huge. Maybe it's other people's time. Maybe you do leverage because you get into direct sales and you understand if you build a network, instead of you working 40 hours a week, you work 10 hours and you have 40 other people working 10 hours. So you have 400 hours going into your business that you get paid on, but you only work 10. That's a pretty good philosophy. And there's other ones in there, other people's time, other people's money. Well, there's a whole bunch of ways. Online systems, funnels. I don't know how many of you guys have funnels. Dave and I have spent about $30,000, $40,000. In the past, we had a funnel called Ready to Cash In. And everybody that went through the funnel, we took that lead and we helped them. It was the easiest thing I ever did. We're doing that right now. We're building a big one. You know why? Everybody's online. Why wouldn't you reinvent yourself and say, you know what? I may never get to go to a trade show again. I may never get to go do a meeting with 600 people in a meeting room for a long time. The restaurant I was at last night said all of the tables have to stay 6 feet apart and the waitress. Can you guys even imagine that? It's different. So here's what I want to tell you. I know May is going to be the biggest month ever for making money. And it can be for you. The decision is yours. You may have to reinvent yourself. You may have to do something that you've never done to learn, to grow, to develop a talent, develop a skill. You might have to take a risk. I don't know what you're willing to do, but you don't have to stay stuck. And this is what I keep telling people. Your current situation is just a current state. You can change your state. You can change your life. You can change your way of thinking. It'll change your life. But some people, they'll watch me every Saturday, week after week after week after week. And if you don't enjoy this and I annoy you, please delete me, because I have 2,000 friends waiting to be added. And some of them are in a new company that I started. And literally, I've deleted anyone I think I can delete. And I'm just sad to delete people. So if you don't like following me, please delete. And maybe you just unfriend me. And if you're just being nosy, just hit follow, because you can still follow even if we're not friends, and you can still be nosy. Doesn't bother me a bit. There are people that are dying for this information, and we are about to step into a era of our life where we are going to impact so many people with so much positive that some of you are going to want to puke. There's going to be so much positive. I don't know if you know, my husband has a book called The Thinking Cure. People need it worse now than ever. It deals with depression. It deals with bankruptcy. It deals with sickness. It deals with suicide. It deals with every bad thing that's ever happened to a lot of people. And it helps them change their thinking, change their life. And if you need that, maybe that little $10 book could totally change your life. I don't know. Some people right now need opportunity. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Opportunity only comes for people that change. So in the book, the girl's like, okay, Samantha, now when are we going to start making money? I only have 90 days. And Samantha's like, I can't teach you how to make money because of the way that you're thinking. Like, it would be like standing out front with a fire hose today and the Kansas winds are blowing 50 miles an hour. There's no way that I can teach you how to leverage when you're still stuck mentally. So to pull it off, to make that kind of money in that short of a time, she takes this lever and she draws it on this whiteboard. And she says, this is what you call leverage. Leverage. And they create a mastermind group. And she brings in all the people that she knows have talents that she doesn't have. Someone that's good at graphic design, someone that's good at internet marketing, someone that's good at patenting, someone that's good at real estate, someone that's good at investments. You know, like, this is her mastermind group, her dream team, will you have. So the company that we just started, obviously we have a dream team. Why would you have a dream team? Because those are the people that know what has to happen. They're going to work as hard as you, and you know that you can hit your goal with leverage other people's time and energy. So think of all the things that you could do right now. Take, for instance, my friend Lynn. If she wanted to really 10 times her income, she would have to hire people to help her cut the t-shirts, lay them out, get the quilting ready, maybe some more sewing machines. That's how she would leverage other people's time, other people's efforts, maybe other people's money. Maybe she gets all the equipment to really go big and do a bunch of them at a time. Or maybe it's just a hobby and she loves doing it. She's not really worried about making millions off of those shirts. Well, this is the thing. You have to be congruent, because you're never going to get something that you don't need. And you have to more than just want it. You have to need this to happen. Like, I need to make $1 million. I need this enterprise to get to $1 million in sales this month, whatever. Well, in the mastermind, they make a pact. The first $1 million is going to go to the girl. And after that, everyone that helped the girl is going to get shares of this. Okay, how is that any different than direct sales? It's a business model. Everybody works together. If you love it and you're passionate about it, everybody wins, and the whole thing blows up, and you have residual income for the rest of your life. Strange phenomena happened to me one day. I realized if I continued to do what I had always done, I would continue to get what I always got. But the problem was, I had a preconceived notion about network marketing. I hated it, honestly. My grandma was a Shackley lady. The whole basement was filled with fiber bars. My grandpa got Melaleuca. The toothpaste was so bad when I was little, we got our mouths washed out of it. If we cussed, my little brother would say, Elaluca. I don't want the Elaluca. Great product line, great company. But my preconceived notion growing up was that it was horrible, right? I joined Amway when I was 17, was dating a boy that was 19, 20. Went to a lot of seminars, failed miserably, hated it. Decided I would join again under someone else. Maybe it'd be a better experience. Even worse. Married Dave, said never doing that again. But in the midst of that, I joined every company that came along. Every company that came along. Oh, Arbonne was taking people to Hawaii, so I joined Arbonne. Avon lady came in my salon, said you could just lay these books out, people would order. So I joined Avon. House of Lloyd Home Interiors was my favorite. They had Christmas around the world. And any of you that know me, I am a Christmas freak. Made a lot of money, spent more than I made on all the samples so I could decorate my house, but it was still a win. Failed at pretty much everything I joined. So when Dave and I got married, I could remember buying a $600 vacuum so I could get to cross stage as a 1,000 PV at an Amway convention. my preconceived notion was, I hate it. Nobody makes money. I got all my friends involved. None of them had success. Never doing it again. End of story. Wasn't in the prenup, but we're not going to be network marketers. I was so negative. I was resentful. Hated people that had money because we were losing everything. All the rich people in our neighborhood, I was jealous of them. I was the victim. Oil went to $7 a barrel. I lost everything. Horrible life for me. I'm the victim. Blah, 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 blah. Just negative. So guess what? I focused on scarcity. We lost more and more and more and more. And one day I was on my knees praying for something to come along. True story. Dave bounced a $7 check. All of you know that. Our name was in the paper. Chance's dang baby formula, little stinker, was colic, and breast milk was not his friend, but I was trying. It was devastating, you guys. I just want you to imagine. We're at Brooklyn's first birthday. My whole family's there. There's a Barney cake. She's blowing out the candles. I still see her little pink birthday hat. And over the fence, I see the Russell Police Department. And they're like, Dave, you have to come with us. Worst. How many of you have had this experience in your life where it's literally the worst timing? Even the devil couldn't have orchestrated anything that would be more bad timing, right? But it happened. And then later, because of that failure, you learn a lesson, you gain some knowledge, you change with the wisdom, and it goes on to serve you for years and years and years. You guys, that's our story. I wrote a book about it. Literally changed people's lives because so many people could relate to that. See, people can't relate to overnight success. People can't relate to, oh, go do this and you'll make a lot of money this month and you'll be fine. When they have no money, their bills are piling up. They're terrified. Their kids need money. They can't even help their kids. Their businesses are shut down. Their industry is closed down. Like, people right now are so freaking fragile. They can't even imagine anything working for them. And I'll tell you, success isn't going to attack you. If you want your ship to come in, you're going to have to get out on the dock. That's a big for sure. But this is what I do know. There are people right now making more money than they've ever made in their life because of leverage, because of opportunity. They're solving problems. They're taking a risk. I keep thinking, why would I not take all my money and go invest in the stock market in all the stocks that are so low right now? It's a buyer's market. But I don't know anything about the stock market, right? Better for me to just find someone that does. But what I do know is that if you bring value doing what you know you're good at, the money will come. So the question today is, what are you good at? If you're good at having home parties, figure out a virtual party. If you're good at baking, figure out how to bake and monetize that. If you just have a lot of followers, and you're not monetizing that, you're an influencer and you're all over and you're not monetizing that, I could show you how to monetize that. If you have people that trust you, that know you, that like you, and you want to start a business, you just don't know how, inbox me. I'll give you 50 ideas. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I don't mind working hard. But if you could work smarter instead of working harder, why would you not work smarter? And if you could get around people who have what you want, you know that you could be and have and do anything that you ever dreamt of, and all you needed was a mentor to show you the way, why would you resist that? The only reason why is your thinking. Sounds too good to be true. Probably is. That's what I used to say. That, and I was terrified because I had no money, no time, no skills, no friends left. The company Dave joined was called NFL, and I said, perfect, no friends left. And yet we went on to be top money earners in our 20s because Dave Pitcock took a risk, read some books, followed some training, was teachable, was coachable, and was sick and tired of being sick and tired. For me, the nail hurt. I guess it just didn't hurt bad enough. I was more worried about what people thought about me than I was about changing my situation. And last time I checked, nobody that you're worried about what they think about you is paying your bills or mine. So sometimes we got to dig deep down and say, what would we do if we knew we couldn't fail? And I want you to work on this. This is our money may manifestation, right? And I need you to listen to this every day. Go to the end of the broadcast, just the last couple minutes, and I want you to read and say this with me every single day, because I do know how to manifest money. One time in the middle of the worst financial storm of our life, I literally called the next 3 towns Bob Dole was going to be announcing his presidency. These are states. I'm going through a phone book, finding the Hallmark store in New Jersey, the Hallmark store in New York City, the Hallmark store in Pennsylvania, selling 500 and 1,000 shirts over the phone, printing them as fast as we could, just manifesting money. Because here I was stuck at home with 2 babies, and we were in a bankruptcy situation. And I was thinking, what do I have that I could do? Now, I don't know how to make a t-shirt, but I hired someone that did. And then we sold them and we shipped them and it worked. Other people were like, everyone here is going bankrupt and moving. They're losing their houses. And Dave and I are over here like, we got to find a way. So the first thing you got to do if you want to be successful is find a mentor. And you've got to be learning and growing, because when you get better, everything else will get better. And if I'm your mentor, I'm glad to do this free every single Saturday, because I will only tell you what I know works. But this is what I say every day. And I want you to say this with me. I will post it here. If you message me, I can add you in the group where we're going to do a mastermind with this entire book. It's going to be amazing. I am going to help more people make more money than they've ever made in their life. And I don't care who hates me for it, because here's the thing. I'm not trying to flash it right now. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I know the whole world is struggling, but there are a lot of ways out there that you can get off the struggle bus. You just have to decide that you're ready to get off of it. And this is the money magnet manifestation that it was taught in that course, in that book. And I have to put my glasses on or I can't see, so forgive me if there's a glare. I am a money magnet. I like money and money likes me. I attract money. I attract money 24 hours a day. I earn bountiful amounts of money. I know that I will always have more money in the future than I do right now. The money that I create, it just keeps multiplying. It keeps duplicating. It replenishes itself. I am forever enjoying more and more money. I have infinite money. More than enough for me, more for my every want and every need. I cheerfully save my money. I faithfully save 10% of every single dollar that I earn. I wisely invest my money. I see my money recreating itself effortlessly. I cheerfully give money to good and worthy causes, philanthropies that make a lasting and ongoing difference. My estate is in perfect, updated order, and will be a lasting legacy that makes an important and a memorable difference. Money rushes me in every form and every fashion. I have lots of money. I have money in my mind. I have money in my future. I have money in my pocket. I have money in my wallet. I have money in my safe, money in my bank accounts, money in my business, money in all of my investments. Wherever I put it, it just keeps growing. I enjoy money, and money enjoys me. Money and all its equivalents are attracted to me. Money is forever making me infinitely better off. Infinite means spiritually, impacting other people forever, right? All that I do creates surplus, abundance, and plenty for myself and for everybody else. Now, when you read that, sometimes people say, man, that's icky. I feel bad. I feel bad because money's bad. No, money's not bad. Your church needs money. Your schools need money. Every single person out there needs money. Let me tell you guys a little story. This week, we were on the phone with Ray Mercer, the merciless Ray Mercer, the boxer, the heavyweight champion, the gold medalist. Yesterday, we were on the phone with him and one of his friends who was literally the vice president to Donald Trump for 12 years in his apprentice, back when apprentice was a big thing. These people are like average, normal people. They were so attracted to a business that we were launching. And we were talking, and he sent us a glove that said Ray Mercer on it. To Dave, mind you, to Dave. I'm not salty about that, though. It'll look great in my office, even though it says to Dave. But he said his favorite fight was with Tommy Morrison, in Rocky V. Now, I don't know a lot about boxing, but I watched every Sylvester Stallone movie. I loved the Rocky movies. I loved the music in the Rocky movies. Still do. But here's the real Rocky story, you guys. In 1974, I was 3 years old. Sylvester Stallone was broke, discouraged. He was a screenwriter. He attended a boxing match where he became inspired by a nobody boxer. So, this nobody boxer who went the distance with the great Muhammad Ali. He rushed home and he had a 3-day burst of creative output where he was just a screenwriter writing this first draft to the very first Rocky. Down to his last $106, Sylvester Stallone submitted this screenplay to the movie Rocky. Imagine this. A studio offered $20,000 with either Ryan O'Neal or Burt Reynolds playing the lead character. Stallone was excited, but he didn't like the offer because he wanted to play it himself. He offered to act for free, and they said, that's not the way it works in Hollywood. So Stallone turned down the offer, even though he desperately needed the money. He needed the $20,000. He had $106. Then they offered him $80,000. The condition was he wouldn't play the lead. He turned him down again. They told him that Robert Redford was interested. Can you imagine? You write a screenplay, Robert Redford's willing to play the main character. We'll give you $200,000, Sylvester Stallone. Robert Redford plays Rocky. Nope, he turns him down. They upped their offer, $300,000 for the script. He told them he didn't want to go through his whole life wondering, what if I had said no and I had played the main part? They offered him $330,000. He told them he'd rather not see the movie if he couldn't play the lead. They finally agreed they would let him play the lead actor. He was only paid $20,000 for the script, and he got paid $340 a week. That was the minimum for an actor back then. After expenses, all of his agent fees, everything, he netted $6,000 off the first Rocky instead of $330,000. In 1976, Sylvester Stallone was nominated for an Academy Award as the Best Actor. The movie Rocky won 3 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Film Editing. The Rocky series has since grossed $1 billion, making Sylvester Stallone an international movie star because he followed his gut and he stuck to his guns. You know what, guys? I've been in a lot of situations where I got offered a lot of money. A few months ago, a couple $1 million to come to a company. But it wasn't congruent. It wasn't congruent with who Dave and I are, what we would do, what we could wake up every day and be passionate about. You know, my oldest daughter tried to sell makeup. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup. She looks beautiful in the makeup. The makeup's a great product. She tried like heck. But my daughter-in-law, who's amazing at makeup and wears it every single day, kills it, right? You can't make somebody want to join your company. You can't make somebody want to do what you do. You can't go do something for money that you hate every day of your life, or you're just going to make a wage. You're never going to make a legacy. My advice to anyone who's stuck right now that really wants to go big, find someone that has what you want, ask them to be your mentor, do everything they tell you to do, and don't be afraid to ask for help. In the book, this girl goes to a stranger. The stranger doesn't really want to talk to her. She goes to her again. She gets rejected 3 times. You know what the $1 million lady says to her? I'm impressed with your ambition. I'm impressed with your enthusiasm. You're not going to take no for an answer. You're persistent. You got rejected 3 times. You're still trying to get in my car. And the girl goes on to, I can't even tell you. It's my favorite story of all time. I love when the underdog wins. Dave and I didn't have moms with money. We didn't have dads involved. We didn't have college educations. We didn't have a lot of friends. We still live in this same little podunk town. There is nothing here. And it's really drying up now with everything that's happening with oil. The only thing that's here is our family. But you got to find what is congruent with what's most important to you. If someone said, I'll give you $10 million, but you have to live in New York City in a studio loft and you're going to be far away from Kansas, I'd be like, I don't want to be in a crowded city. I don't want to be away from my family. I don't need $10 million that bad. But if someone said, if you'll live in this deserted island with no civilization, but you can be with your family and you're only going to make, $1 million, I would rather choose that. You can't do something just for money. You have to do, in fact, I would choose the deserted island for just free food and water, right? You have to do what is congruent with your beliefs. And when you figure out what are your passions, what are the things that you love to do, what is something you could truly promote? Here's the 4 things. Your passion, the most successful people love what they do. If they weren't getting paid, they would still do it. Their talent, they found something they're good at, they actually believe in. They call it talent, but it's really just their ability to make it happen. Their values, they got to do what they really believe is good and it's extremely important to them. And their destiny, they have a sense that they're going to make a contribution. It's almost like more of a spiritual thing, not a destiny thing. I think more about what people will say about me when I'm gone than I think about what they say about me right now. I think about little baby Lola, my little almost 2-year-old granddaughter. She's going through social media. She's looking at my YouTube. She's looking at my pictures. She's looking at my Instagram. It's about being the best version of you that you can be. I don't need a lot of likes on Instagram. I don't care what gets likes. I don't need a lot of shares, because I post a bunch of cuss words. Some of the things that people do, I wouldn't do it for the money because it's not who I am. So don't get lured into something that you're just doing for money because you'll be miserable and you'll have regrets. I've done that. I wouldn't say it was greed. I just got sold once on a really sound good deal and literally lost the company I built for 9 years and $1 million a year in income. And it sucked, but I'm not a victim. I am a victor. I learned a lesson. I will never do something like that again and allow people that are following me to be led in a direction based on a sound good thing and some, thing that I'm sold on. I stop and I go with my gut. Do I have regrets? We all have regrets, but am I sorry? I'm not, because the people that I met along the way led me to the next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. I got better, I got wiser, I got stronger, and I failed. I have failed more times than most of you will ever even try to succeed. But I'm not going out of this world as someone that didn't give it everything I got. And if you are, I don't want to be laying there on my deathbed one day like, this is the book I could have wrote. This is the trip we could have went on. We should have took more pictures. We should have set up a college fund for the grandkids. Dave and I should have went to Alaska. We should have went walleye fishing in Canada. We really should have built the dream house while we were living so modestly below our means, saving, being smart with our money. Like, you got to really stop and think, what would make you happy? Now, the dream house wouldn't make me happy, but it would be a fun challenge. When I was in it, I'd be like, it's just a house. So right now, instead, I'm going to take the money. I'm going to go have fun with my grandkids while they're little, while I'm young enough to go and be full of energy and life and have fun. I don't want a bunch of money piled up in the bank and a bunch of shoulda, coulda, woulda. I should have done this. I should have done that. Oh, if I would have done that, I should have done this. Then you shoulda all over yourself is what Les Brown says. We all do it, guys. We all do it. But here's what I'm going to say to you. I know some ways that people right now are literally creating legacy income like they've never created in their life and having more fun, having a positive impact on other people's lives. They're making a difference. It's congruent with who they are. They're not good at sales. They don't want to go prospect people. Heck, I don't like prospecting people. But I know this. People don't want to be sold, but they love to buy. I'm not going to ask you to go through your whole inbox and be like, hey, have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? So annoying. People friend request me. I accept them, or I say, I can't accept you as a friend. Their next question, have you heard of this? Okay, here's the secret, you guys. Nobody cares how great you are. The only thing people think about is how you make them feel. I watched an incredible training yesterday. We're attracting a lot of influencers. And I didn't even realize, but I do this authentically. And it could be a secret that I never knew. Comment on people's stuff. Compliment people. Give out You look amazing. You're killing it in your company. I'm so proud of you. Don't be thinking about, oh, they should be in my company. That's not a good company. Just let them go be who they are, and congratulate them, compliment them. You look great. Your granddaughter's beautiful. Your son is so successful. Your husband is so handy. Look at everything that he does. Like, compliment people. Comment, compliment, love them. We're all distanced right now, right? But we're actually all together on social media more than we've ever been. And do you know what? The people that I've joined and partnered with in business, it's always been about the way they made me feel. It's never been about the money. And good or bad, whether I was sold a bill of goods that was bad or whatever, it was never the logic. It was always the emotion. People make decisions on emotion. I'll leave you with this that'll mess up your mind. If people made decision on logic, no man or woman would ever not. Single Saturday morning, we are going to have a lot of fun. We are going to learn a lot. We are going to grow together. It's called No Guts, No Story, because sometimes people have no guts. And if they would, every single one of you would have a story, a success story, impacting other people's lives, changing people's lives. And believe it or not, there are a lot of ways that you can get paid for that. So go step into your greatness today. The first thing I would say, work on step number 1. What are your dreams and goals? Step number 2, I would say make some commitments. What's not going to happen in your life anymore? Number 1 for me, the news. It's never happening again. Never happening again. Someone inform me if we have to like pick up and run, but I'm never watching the news. Don't believe it. Not going to listen to it. Not going to let it contaminate my mind. May is my month. And if you want May to be your month, let's make some money together and manifest everything just like it talks about in that book. So I'll drop that entire money magnet poem that I read to you. And I'm super excited for all of you that are following and the energy that we're going to have and the things that we're going to do together. So make it a great day. I'll see you next Saturday on No Guts, No Story.